Hajime Nagumo is flung into the abyss of the Orca's Labyrinth, which is populated with monsters greater than anything he's ever seen. A bear rips his arm off and devours it. Hajime manages to get away by transmuting his way deep into the earth, where he luckily discovers a definite stone that generates a never-ending pool of ambrosia healing fluid, allowing him to survive the amputation of his arm. In flashbacks, Hajime is revealed to have no warrior skills. His sole genuine ability is to transmute, which allows him to manipulate matter. When his class entered the dungeon, they were met by a giant. After attempting to save Kaori, he was purposefully thrown into the abyss by one of his classmates. Due to his tremendous hunger, Hajime begins to use traps to hunt the mighty wolves. The monster's cells change DNA after consuming one, and only the ambrosia's ongoing mending saves him. Due to the continual ripping off his muscles caused by the symbiosis of his and the monster's DNA and the mending of the ambrosia, his body evolves into something far stronger. After the metamorphosis, he continues to hunt monsters, consuming them to earn levels and obtain their physical and magical skills. He even experiments with his transmutation abilities to make strong weapons. His first pistol donner was created. Before hunting for a path further into the abyss, he kills and consumes the bear creature that ate his limb. Elsewhere, when the king knew of Hajime's death, he refused to acknowledge a hero's death and outlawed any mention of the occurrence. Shizuku, Kaori's friend, explains that the Pope called their high school class and their instructor to this planet to fight demons and monsters as heroes. Hiyama, one of her classmates, is acting suspiciously. However, he does not hear him assure himself that no one witnessed him attacking Hajime. Hajime ultimately makes it to a massive stone door and overcomes the Guardians, recovering keys from their bodies. Kaori is adamant about not giving up on Hajime. Hajime discovers a little girl imprisoned in a crystal beyond the doors, but decides to abandon her, assuming she must be a monster imprisoned for a cause. She confesses she is an eternal vampire princess, but claims an Undi who sought her status betrayed her. He couldn't murder her, so he locked her up. Her sorrow for his betrayal may cause her to freeze. She chooses to change her name and begs Hajime for a new one, so he gives her the name Yui, which means moon, because her golden hair reminds him of moonlight. A gigantic scorpion creature attacks Hajime and Yui. Yui recovers her power by feeding on Hajime's blood, and they destroy the scorpion. Yui learns from Hajime that all vampires were destroyed 300 years ago, making her the only vampire. According to Yui, the labyrinths were made by mavericks, great magic users who sought but failed to overthrow God. As sanctuaries against God's wrath, they built a labyrinth, and they may still be alive on the lowest floors. Hajime transforms the scorpion shell into the Schlägen rifle. Hajime explains how he was betrayed by Yui, but he is unconcerned about his peers or even vengeance. He simply wants to return to Japan with enough authority. Yui invites her to accompany him because he no longer has a house. The labyrinth is revisited by Hajime's classmates. Hajime and Yui visit a floor where a plant-like creature has infected all the monsters and controls them physically. Yui has been infected. However, one of the creatures Hajime ate before renders him immune to the virus, allowing him to destroy it. They arrived at the bottom floor a few days later and prepared to fight the last boss monster. The ultimate opponent, a gigantic, Hydra-like creature with 6 heads, confronts Hajime and Yui. Each is capable of a unique form of magic, with one being able to heal the other. Yui is almost devoured due to the fear-inducing hypnosis of a second head. As a result, Hajime kisses her awake. Hajime uses Schlägen to kill 3 heads, including the healing head, while Yui uses lightning to eliminate the remaining 3. A seventh head appears unexpectedly before they can rest. The Schlägen is demolished, and Hajime gets hurt while defending Yui. After seeing Hajime unconscious, Yui carries him to safety and attempts to assault him with his gun, but gets hurt. Even when asleep, Hajime hears Yui cry and improves his speed to the point where he can avoid all strikes. He throws explosives all over the place, knocking the roof off its head and allowing Yui to finish it off. Hajime drops out from tiredness as the final door opens with lightning. Meanwhile, Hajime's instructor, Aiko Hatoyama, is called a hero and debates over re-entering the labyrinth with the Pope. The Pope promises to send only voluntary pupils as long as Aiko continues to use her fertility magic to help the kingdom's poor agriculture. After losing his right eye, Hajime wakes up in bed with Yui and discovers they're at the Maverick's house. They come across the Maverick's skeleton in front of a magical circle. Hajime's memories are compelled to be explored by a spell that triggers a recording left behind by the Maverick. The Maverick identifies himself as Oscar Orcus and believes Hajime is worthy of knowing the truth about the Maverick God War when he defeats his maze. The giant they thought murdered Hajime is defeated by Hajime's classmates as they approach the labyrinth. Before vanishing, Oscar gives Hajime his abilities and memories. Hajime recognizes the Mavericks as liberators and reveals that he inherited Oscar's ancient creation magic, which allows him to imbue magical traits onto transmuted materials to create artifacts. Oscar is buried and Hajime grabs his ring, which controls a surface entrance. Hajime resolves to conquer all the labyrinths for their ancient power. For 2 months, Hajime uses Oscar's treasure library and workshop to study all he can about weapon and vehicle manufacturing and equip himself with a sophisticated prosthetic limb and a mystical diamond to replace his sight. Yui continues to seduce him, so he offers her a magical ring and tells her that her ambitions would make them enemies of the church and their god, Ihit, in the end. As they teleport to the surface, Yui promises to stick with him. Hajime and Yui are expected to show up at Shei's and Yui's location anxiously waiting. Hajime and Yui try to ignore her when they arrive since she's a pain. Hajime ultimately chooses to listen, and she tells him that her tribe is in danger from monsters. She predicts that Hajime will save them using her magical power to foretell various futures. Hajime offers to take them to a large tree mentioned in Oscar's collection. When they get into the tribe's woodland, Hajime uses a weak Shei as bait to slay numerous monsters. Hajime agrees to train the rabbit men since they were wary of being powerless. Hajime fights against their inherent rabbit-like shyness. As a result, he subjects them to a ruthless training regimen that includes slaying all the monsters or murdering them instead, transforming them into formidable monster killers. Shei leads them to a tree that Hajime deduces is the entrance to another labyrinth, but there is a stone slab nearby with ring slots like Oscar's, for example, teaches Hajime that his maze will only open when he has overcome the others. The rabbit men resolve to keep training and protect the tree until Hajime returns. Shei joins them on their journey after falling in love with Hajime, and Yui is obligated to let her go when she wins a battle by scratching Yui's face. They made their way to the Razor Gorge, which housed the entrance to another labyrinth. Milady Raisin, a lively maverick, greets them with her voice. He created a maze-like labyrinth full of practical jokes, most of them directed towards Shei. Several of Hajime's classmates leave the labyrinth to assist Aiko on the fields. Hajime and the girls make it to the bottom of the labyrinth after a long struggle to face the monster, Milady herself. They break her crystal heart with the help of a massive robot. She uses the last strength to wish Hajime good luck in his battle with the Eight. Even though Hajime maintains he has no intention of overcoming Night Melody, he promises he will be a godslayer one day. They discover the melodic soul within a miniature cartoonish golem, which Shay punishes for all the pranks as they enter the prize area. She offers Hajime her ring for finishing the maze, and you weigh in on her ancient gravity magic. Despite her inability to swim, she then uses a whirlpool to eject them from the labyrinth. The Adventurers Guild asks Hajime to locate missing adventurers, including a noble son.